was in reverse.
You can, but with time, maybe. Ay, utangangana tu. Oh my goodness. So let's have some quick one for the night. A quick one because of what people are throwing around, tantrums around, guys. So, of course, I've seen somebody known as Echoes, I don't know what. And what I learned is that he used to react negatively towards MARWA. And now he has turned into a positive reactor, they call it, so I don't know what it means. As for me, I believe you have to correct what is wrong, and sometimes if you get a time, you praise what's right, guys. So, of course, after watching Mike Kizo and watching Mora, watching I don't know, all these people, at first I was not understanding the case against Gintu, but then I've come finally to get it. I just knew that he had invaded the place, Brian's place during construction. And of course, I asked questions like, does it make sense for him to have invaded that project when he has his own project, guys? When you look at the videos, you realize that while Marwa is conducting a project there, Gintu is also conducting a project. And of Marwa, Gintu has never told us how much money he collects for the projects. Therefore, as people keep asking on virtual about how much money maybe Marwa has collected and whether he's using all of that and all that, it's all about fun. People entertaining as they ask these questions. I don't understand when Gintu says that people sent him to go the ground. Hey, hey, how can a man risk so much, Gintu does not even have a family. He does not even have a kid. If he is beaten up in a place such as Marwa's project and something happens, that's not what I would wish for, but it happens that sometimes looking at the animosity in Nyabohanse, guys, I know that's prone to happen. It's prone to happen because when you see the malice around Nyabohanse, something like that may happen, guys. So I've just been checking a lot of videos because I wanted to understand what exactly brought him to this place, because of course I knew he was arrested having invaded that place. Now, by this time, what I've seen is that he indicated that some people, hey, some people had sent him to collect the information from the field. And I was like, really? Like, really? If anything, people are seeing the project going on. They were seeing him reading the money and all that. Aptem Baratiam Nohob. Hey, that is a difficult name. I don't know from Russia. Even the spelling itself, the writing, quite difficult. But guys, it is what it is. Thank you for coming on board. You can like the video. Like the video, guys. Yeah, so I looked at that and I was like, oh. In fact, sometimes I don't know why you should be reporting on the problems of people or rather the bad behavior, and then you also misbehave. That becomes a problem, right? Because Ginto has always been saying he's making it happen. But then today he let himself down. And of course, sometimes I don't like the language he uses automatically. And when we do some reactions, people think that maybe we belong to a given group, which I have always said here. I have always did a disclaimer indicating that I am not in any group for whatsoever. And if you see me one day maybe turning tables and saying whatever I say, don't judge me, because I'll have decided based on whatever is on the table, guys. And all the time, I begin by appreciating whatever is on the ground. So we appreciate what is being done. And of course, for example, you remember David Jr. has picked up Matiko, even if he's using him for donations, guys. Let's look at Matiko, Mirimi. Murimi has been a useless man to himself. He sold his land. Even though Gintu was saying that he normally receives money small by small. I doubt that, because when he was paid money, he went to buy the motorbike, and the rest of the money he said is building his house, guys. So it is what it is. But things in this place, I don't think these people actually really act right sometimes. Sometimes they tend to use uh, us to acquire views, because they know, possibly Gintu knows, that people are really giving a lot of attention to Marwa on the project. And so he decided that, let me create some drama. How can you allow yourself to go and risk for views? How do you risk to collect news for people? I don't understand that. Sometimes actually I can't make out whatever these people decide to do and how they decide to do. Even though I've listened to JT is saying that Gintu may not have had bad intentions. But let me tell you one thing. If you have bad blood with somebody, let us just be genuine. If you have bad blood with somebody, you don't see eye to eye, you deferred, you had conflicts, do you expect that this person will come to even to your home, or even come to where you are doing a project and let them be? That one, I don't, JT, I don't think that will happen. So in all manners, I think Gintu deserves to be bashed, because he took a very bad risk, a very bad one, for that sake. And if that Nyabohanse and this place where they're constructing, I don't know how far they are, if they are worlds apart, Gintu would have stayed out of that place. The best way he could collect information, if he had a spy there, I don't know. Now, it's appearing that he had sent somebody, because I've listened to several videos, different perspectives, before I make the conclusion. Now, it happens that Gintu had sent a spy already in the construction place as a mason. And when the conflict was going on, the guy rushes with the recording aspect and begins to record. Now, you people, you should know clearly that Gintu, Marwa, only trusts some people. No wonder. You remember I did some reaction to show that the entire team that is working for him as Masons are the trustees. You remember? And I said it's a payday for them. You remember? Now these people, because Marwa is a gig and he wants to make sure that he keeps his reputation and his work is not investigated, he must be so sure that he's working with the people who reason in the same way, who will appraise him. Of course, he is not clean. There are so many mistakes here and there. And of course, the entire team is not clean, because if you look at the entire team, like Hello Baby, you look at Hello Baby impregnated Ruby's family. Gintu, not Gintu, but Kitriba impregnated, I don't know, Mogese's family. And then we have Mayans in Nyabohanse, guys. A lot of shenanigans, if you are aware about it. But then the reality is that these people have not messed with Marwa yet, in a manner that he would actually maybe fail to justify their loyalty. And no wonder he likes working with them, because they are loyal to him. Now, I think you should be very keen on the Masons as you watch Marwa's videos. You realize that there is a Mason who has been done away with. Why? Because he was considered a spy and he had to be left. Now, look at this. I want you to just simply look at this. Look at that thumbnail, guys. Are you seeing it? I want you to focus on this thumbnail here. Are you looking at this thumbnail here? Spy fired from construction. Now remember Village Echoes. Village Echoes used to be very negative about Marwa. I don't know what happened to him.
Thank you very much.
Now he restarted his channel. Listen to him.
Did it in a wrong way. But again, let us guys look at this clip on the other side. This video that I've played there, that clip,
computer is going off.
that is Gintu's video. And Gintu has deleted that video very fast. I think I think 2 to 3, 5 minutes, the video was pulled out. Pulled down. I don't know whether he's the one who deleted that video. That video is for Gintu. That is Gintu's video. What that one tells you that in the same group of people who are calling themselves Team Ayamara, who are calling themselves volunteering for handman and I don't know masons, the same group inside that group of people who are constructing there.
Now, guys, if you look at this video by this man known as Village Echoes, he restarted his channel, I believe, for whatever reasons, guys. So he decided not just to change his tactics, but to change his channel entirely. Now listen to him, guys. I think you listened at first, and we can proceed.
That is spies. That is goons. Because that video was recorded with somebody far away, you know, and then was sent to Gintu later. Now Gintu went and connected it with his video he uploaded, meaning he has a person who is inside those group. And I've been saying this thing before that MARWA should cut ties. When he has deleted you, when he don't want you, he should also cut ties with your relatives. Because in that construction, is Gintu's relatives there. It's only that I'm not going to mention the camera so that you can see me clearly. I've told you earlier that it has a very major crack. This one needs a whole screen replacement.
Now let me ask you guys, somehow this fella is giving some idea, but I think I disagree with him. You cannot say that when I'm rotten, all my relatives are rotten. That does not happen. It is not always that weed grows where there are no crops. Weeds always invade where there are crops. And so, in our families, we may be all crops, but there will be one weed. Now, you cannot say that when the weed is uprooted, you then have to uproot the entire crops. That one is a problem. So I don't agree with what Village Echoes is saying, because some of the people in that group might be relatives to Gintu, but that does not mean that they're the ones feeding him with information. And you cannot now do away with all the relatives of Gintu who are now serving as masons in that village just because Gintu keeps attacking MARWA. You know? Theirs was a personal difference, maybe resulting from job or whatever reasons we do not understand deeply. They know better than us, right? So I disagree with the fact tries to suggest that MARWA should tie ties with all the relatives of Gintu who are Masons. You may be a relative of someone and stopping them from misbehaving. Look at Murimi, for example. You remember the time Murimi's father was sent away from MARWA's home. Remember the time there were those, it's called Jamaican Trench Town Grandpa. When that man brought those shoes and clothes in the villa, I remember Murimi was there and he was invited, he even ate from there before he sold his land to Dimwango. And some people started saying that that land possibly is what had made MARWA so hard on Murimi's father. Now, even though he sent Murimi away, do you know, at the end of the day, he still went back, especially David Jr. David Jr. still went back and bought the land from that family, the Matiko family. Do you remember? So then I asked myself, does it mean that when there is one weed in a whole farm of crops, you cut down the entire crops because there is weed? That is not the best way to go. Because you may have a relative that is quite a nuisance, or let's say a relative that is bashing people because they have personal differences with individuals. That does not automatically mean that everybody else is bad in that family. The suggestion by Village Echoes seems to be a one to dismiss an entire family on the basis of a mistake by one person. Can you imagine? I'm just imagining, even in terms of leadership, if, for example, we dismiss one individual as a leader who is poor from a family, do we now dismiss the entire family? So that argument to me does not make sense at all, at all. However much Village Echoes is trying to say, so if MARWA listens to this, for example, it means tomorrow he goes gets other Masons, because according to Village Echoes, some people who are there as Masons in MARWA's team are relatives to Gintu. So it means when you're relative to Gintu, then you are cast or you are sent away from work because he does what he does. Really? Like, really? I don't think I would actually dismiss an entire relative of someone just because one of their own is wrong. If anything, they can investigate and find out who was taking the videos and sending to Gintu. They are able to get that. I'm sure, because there is someone who has said spy fired. And I hope when we look tomorrow in the videos, we'll be very sure to know who the spy was, you know. And it's about village business. I don't understand how this village operates. I don't understand, you know. But then, hey, you know, village construction has become part of the enterprise for these people. Look at Gintu, for example. I want you to watch this video here. Let's just check this. Let me just bring you to this, guys. I want you to look at this and tell me, because there is something I was looking at, and of course in that video I tried to check at first, that video that Gintu did and said he was arrested. And I kept checking and wondering, he's arrested and he's free. This one here.
This how the grass attached is.
Look at this video, just a little bit, guys.
Some iron sheets. And the children inside. So you can now imagine how it's raining, eh? So this is what I was talking about, guys. Look at inside here. It's raining cats and dogs inside here. You can just light it up so as people can just see what I always talk about here. Because this is water that's just coming up to this kind of an end here. And this is where they're sleeping. And this is where they're cooking. Yeah, this is where they're cooking. So you can even see how the condition is. And also you can see how this kind of... It's just
now when you look at that, Gintu is trying to also do some projects in the village.
You can even see it to outside.
And the projects Gintu does, David Jr. also, I'm going to play another video. Maybe let me show more here. There was some other project that he was showing that he will be constructing some house or something. Here.
Sitting inside, even my buttocks are buttocks. And right now I don't know how you're going to be sitting and walking a little bit here. I'm going to be walking like a person who is circumcised here. But no problem.
The language is very wrong.
One on one. Keep it tuned. Coming back. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. And it has been raining cats and dogs, and it's right now we are just coming from getting some shelter here. And I think right now the children, they are now so fantastic here. So we are heading to the
now when you look at him, Gintu uses very raw language. A language that can make you a bit uncomfortable at some point, right? And he keeps moving from one place to another doing the projects and what have you. And I'm so sure he is getting the donors' money. He cannot be giving all of it. That is for a fact. He never tells us how much money he has collected, how money has used, how much money has used. No wonder people don't go questioning him for transparency, you know. I want us to also look at David Jr. There's a video I watched for David Jr. today, because I watch all these people, guys, all of them. Now, there's another video David Jr. had played for today. He had gone about also doing some projects. Of course, you know, he's building for the old granny. There's a granny they are doing the toilet for. And he has also collected some 17,000 for Brian, and he's finishing the toilet for, yeah, this one here. Let's look at this just a little bit.
Secret yangu to a moisturizer and bright skin. Try nice and lovely lemon lotion today.
Okay. So of course you saw David Jr. visiting this lady who had given birth to a child, right? And giving some money to her and some budget.
For the hospital, because she needs even money for processing the birth certificate and everything.
From there, he went to this Marini's place.
Here, you can tell. And also, I can see, guys, she uses these pieces of clothes to dry this, to clean this. I mean, they need a mopper because this one, I know they use their hands to clean here, which is not safe at all. They need to have a mopper.
You see that? And here.
Rather than get the car. Alright, guys. We're heading this way. You've seen the work is ongoing. So we're heading to the border in which one I'll be doing some shopping.
Now, when you look at all these people, what they do is they beg for donations. When donations come, they use part of it. I'm so sure each one of them partly remains with a percentage. That for sure. You cannot spend all your time, your credit, your platform just to help other people just like that. You've seen also even, we call it the orphanage homes. We call them the homes for rescue and all that. If you have been very close to watching this, you can't tell me that Gintu also is very clean. Devi is very clean. And MARWA is very clean. No, it doesn't happen like that in Africa. What I know, all these people, while they beg for these individuals, they somehow must be using that money, part of it, on themselves. That is the reality. That is the reality. But we only see MARWA because now he's a big person and possibly he receives too much and he's running a lot of projects. So we normally talk about him because, of course, we don't have even calculations. Like David Jr., most of the times he doesn't come and tell us, this was given, and this. Though sometimes they do say. But what I'm so sure about is that all these people, in one way or another, you chop some money. They chop some money, guys. But what matters is, if at all these people are doing maximum for the people, that is what we can say it's the best. As long as they are doing maximum for the people, like the project which has started is finalized, the better. Now, I understand why MARWA now is very scared to have other people working around him. He is very comfortable to work with Gitriba, Mayugno, because these are friendly people. They'll not record and send controversial information. They'll not question his calculations. They'll not even record something that he doesn't want to, and they'll only send a video when he says they send, guys. So I hope now you understand all this mathematics. And now, the spy in the Mason team, the spies in the, they are going to flash out some people from that team. You may not see them ever again at the construction site where MARWA is. Because now people, spies are there pretending to be Masons when they have an intention. All in all, what I'm trying to say is that since MARWA does not follow Gintu to sites where he's doing the construction, like I've shown you the video where Gintu was actually into some projects, then Gintu should be quite wise and avoid this, even if some people send him, because he's saying some people send him, and I don't know which people are this and why they sent. Because if you want to see any news on that project, we are seeing it. If you have questions, you can start a reaction and just raise an alarm about it. You don't have to go sending somebody to go to the ground, because even if they go, MARWA will not tell them what he has done. He will not even give the books to you. So, Let's get to see something here.
Mat! There is a lot of money. If you know, you know. You know? So that kind of made me sad. I just gave him last warning. If he does that again, I just at my construction site. Our new road looks so good actually, even with the trees. It looks like it will be raining again. So yeah. Onset of rains because people just harvested and they need to start actually planting again, you know. Because here we depend on farming 100%.
There's something else
Farming
to
is
show, but it
everything
has
here.
delayed. I don't know.
Okay, let's go. I
Okay.
hope today my watchman is at my construction site. I don't know if the camera is clear or it's because I'm wiping this guy. Or it's because the weather, there's no sun today. I don't know. I just wiped it, so I hope it's better now. You know, maybe you've already seen this part of the video. Somebody had brought me early birthday gifts. And when I came, when they were brought, he wasn't there. So the thing is, he leaves my site and goes to his home, and I'm paying for that service. And you remember even last time it was on a Saturday, and my neighbor came and stole my construction materials on a Saturday. So I don't know why he loves leaving the site on a Saturday, which is very tricky because everything that I have there is a lot of money. If you know, you know, you know. So that kind of made me sad. I just gave him last warning. If he does that again, I just say, okay, goodbye, because you don't want to work. You know, because I don't like following people up and down. It's not even a good show. You just need to do what you need to do, you know.
The Empress Queen. The Empress Queen in the house. She is uncomfortable with her side being left just like that. Though Mat now is at the location. So she was kind of sad. I don't think she was sad, but she was mad at him for leaving the site without anybody. You know? You understand the shenanigans, right? So she said everything there is expensive. Of course, we understand. And they had a mutual agreement. Of course, we remember one day. But the man seems to be unable to maintain that agreement. He only agreed on camera, but the reality is that possibly he needed 2 people to be hired, but he couldn't say it on camera. Instead, he said that he needs to be there, and all the time he leaves, he will be leaving his kids. It is what it is. We understand this in Africa. Sometimes the money we pay does not seem to be quite enough, and people will pretend that they'll be there all the time, but I've never seen I've never seen watchmen who are there 100%, even in schools. I think for those of you in Africa, you've ever gone to a school and you realize that at the gate there is nobody at some point during the day. And remember, the gate people are hired so that students don't sneak in with the goodies, you know? Even in companies, you've ever gone to a company whereby you expect a guard to be at the gate, but you arrive there and you realize there's no one at the gate totally, and you are knocking, nobody's coming. You take some time before somebody comes, you even go in. So, these are things that happen in Africa. Why? Because people know that we are underpaying them, but they'll never say it. And of course, they fear saying it because they know we'll fire them. One thing is that we are very mad at people telling us the truth most of the times. So you'll be like, all right, is that less? Okay, so you can go away so that I hire somebody. So there's high possibility this guy feels like if he only works daytime only, that money will be a little bit less for him. But he does not want to say it. So he pretends that he will be there 7 days, day and night, but he fails to do so because he knows if he dare tells D to actually assign somebody else maybe during the night, the money, the salary will be reduced. At the same time, he may also be totally sacked. Anyway, it is what it is.
Hapa ni transformation. Mwalimu, finally new bed. Nani amekununulia hiki kitanda? Na Daudi anakununulia kitanda. Mwalimu. New bed, there no rara hivyo. New bed. New mattress. Hey, you guys, you see? We are happy.
Guys, Brian has made me recall that there is somebody yesterday who was critiquing Bohanse people do. That whenever donors send something, then they'll say, it is God, it is God, it is God. You know, in Africa, sometimes when we get even, let's say you have had a lot of debts, then you are able to pay. We normally say, it is God. It is God. Not that we are referring to God who having given us directly, but it's because we are referring to the act as a godly act. But somebody was uncomfortable with that. I don't know. I don't remember the person. But there was somebody who was saying that anytime donors do something in Nyabohanse, people are like, it's God. Now I'm just seeing Brian here saying the buying of the purchase of the beddings as it's God. And then I recalled that statement and I was like, all right, you are reminding me something. But then, of course, you remember Rosho. Rosho the other day, she was like, Africans pray so much. It is one of the communities where people pray so much. But whenever God brings the blessings, then they begin to say that there is Illuminati. And I was like, are you serious? Are you so sure that that is what happens in every African home? You know, Rosho has a way of generalizing things, and Marwa. They believe that Nyabohanse represents Kenya. Yet Kenya is a very large country. We have seen so many people make it. Talk of Jatelo, talk of Kaspul, talk of Ogobina, talk of... I can't even count enough people. I can't count enough people. There are so many in Kenya, Kote, and all those sorts of people. Through music, through influence, you know, through even like this Vera Sidika lady. She goes places the way she wants. And there are so many, so many. Talk of the list, the Kenyan prince. So whether it's through crooked ways or the right way, so many people have made it in Africa. But Marwa makes it look like Africa is represented by Nyabohanse. Just like also I heard Rosho saying that in Africa, people should listen to a video because many people now believe when there is success, it is Satan who has brought it. And she now began saying that now, because we believe so, we must be ready to worship Satan then. And I was like, are you serious, the Argentina lady? Are you trying to really say that Africans don't appreciate God? But you can see, again, the same videos, whenever something good happens to these people who are being rescued from zero to something, like Brian, Murimi, and talk of Matiko, talk of those who are law of law, like David Jr. today visited some other lady and also offered some budgeting and all that. They still say it is God. So I believe that Rosho's conclusion was quite wrong to make an assumption that all Africans don't appreciate God when they make it. We do appreciate God. All right, so let's see here.
I want to run so that he follows me. That's the trick. That's the trick. If I run, he runs after me. That's one thing I know. What's Maraba? Mambo vipi? Baba yako ako wapi? Ameenda nakuja. Alienda saa ngapi? Ametoka saa hizi tu hapa. Saa hizi? Sio saa hizi, huo ni uongo. Alipea umba wangu chakula. Imekula? Eh? Mat. Guys, big day. Ah, yasema mbona hujamaliza juice?
All right. So I've looked at that part and I'm wondering, the previous part, Dimongo was complaining that her side was left without anybody, but here she's found a child there, and I think in their agreement, just harvested and they need to start. I think in their agreement it was clear that the old man will be leaving the child and go and then come back. But then it is what it is. Sometimes they put things on camera, we listen to it, we get what they are saying, but then they turn around and again talk about it differently. But from what I heard, the last agreement, I think the old man clearly said that he will be leaving the child here when he goes to a place. Then he comes later, that is on Saturday. But then Dimongo says it's wrong to do so.
So what I'm asking my Chico guys, right now, let's say if Nchagwa comes back,
What the hell is this now? The computer is hanging, guys, so let's see how it will behave. So then, I don't know. There is a lot of stuff in Nyabohanze, a lot, and Isbani itself. That every day we have to keep retooling. But then, I just think that these people should tread carefully to avoid a lot of drama. And I wish, because all of them are looking for donors, Gintu is looking for donors and doing projects. David Junior is doing the same. Dimongo is doing the same, but she's doing for herself instead of for others. Then Marwa is doing both, for himself and for others. So I think that because there is no one to actually seek that transparency, unless it is the donors, the best way to go is that these people should just stay on their lanes. Each of them should stay on their lanes and focus on whatever business they have. And they shouldn't be so aggressive for views, in a manner that they would better keep going to prison, arrest, just to keep creating stories. Because now the construction story has become so common, they are diverting our attention to a different story of arrest. Then soon they'll bring something else dramatic. Recently it was Rosho's story. You know, they are ceaseless with a series of stories. And that is why people are always talking about Nyabohanze, and then people are like, why are you always talking about Nyabohanze? It's because their drama is on another level, a master series, you know? A master series. You stop from one, you go to another. You move out of one, you meet a new one, you know? Anyway, we're into 39 minutes, but there is something here I've not expressed before I end this. There was something about a man that had been shown, the man that had been shown Wahala by a woman. And so the man went ahead to label women as Satan. Just like there's a day I also watched on Nigeria. Nigeria people, they have Nollywood everywhere. Nollywood surrounding their life, left to right. If you decide to do content on Nigerians, the only problem that if you're a Kenyan and if you're doing content on Nigerians, a lot of Kenyans are not interested. They don't follow that, so you won't have even views for that. If you're also a Kenyan, you don't have a lot of Nigerians watching you, you know. So you do it, but you don't really have a following. But Nigerian people, they have a lot of stuff, guys. A lot going on every blessed day. So if you see what a Nigerian man did on TikTok, he came up to label women as Satan. Just like one day I saw another woman saying that men are also Satan. And the comedian man was asking whether, who is it that was able to communicate to the snake? Is it a man or a woman in the Bible? And so if a woman was able to communicate to the snake and convince a man, who is more of satanic? That day I just laughed, you know. And now today, tables have turned, and a man from Nigeria has come out calling women Satan. So, like, he's trying to justify the story of the biblical story, that indeed women are evil. And the Bible talks about Samson with Delilah and so many other shenanigans, even remembering how David had his fall and all that. And I'm like, okay, when you're shown Pepe, then you call them Satan. But before then, whom are they? They are angels, right? Are they? So the reality is that sometimes life is an irony. When things are too good, then people call others very good names. And when things are very bad, the tables turn and the names will be very different, right, guys? So you can check on the TikTok. There is something trending on Nigerian man, yeah? And there is also an happy pastor, a pastor who is known to have been a pedophile, a predator on kids. Now, after he married, the people are blaming the wife instead of blaming him for whatever he did, guys. Let me just check. It seems my phone disconnected from the computer. I cannot see the computer. So there is something I wanted to show, but I'm seeing the computer disconnected. So let me just see whether it will connect. Type your comments in the comment section, guys. Give your free opinions. For me, I don't stop whether you're positive or negative. For me, I just welcome anybody here. Give your views. Like the video, you know. So the fight over US donations. Huh?
He's the lawyer of yes, guys, the widows in the community. Greetings from me. Now that Maro is helping Brian's grandmother, so he wants to show up there to help Brian's grandmother so that all the money that have been sent to be accountable for.
Accountability is the problem here.
So if you can support her, feel free to do so. We really, really appreciate. I thought you should know. Hizi vitu si watakuwekea pamoja basi utakuwa unatumia kama matunda.
Now, one question that I would also wish to ask is, why did Ginto delete the video in which there was a confrontation? I'm not so sure why that happened, because I've just wondered why the video was deleted. Though some people had already downloaded, we've got the copy. Unfortunately, in Kenya, people work so fast, you know.
And I'll send you details. But also Zelle is very good for me because the money comes directly and I'm able to go to the bank using an ATM card to get it. Thank you for supporting Brian. Thank you for supporting my sister.
Now, this is... It's so embarrassing watching a whole-grown man that calls himself a millionaire with a Safari car and a Mercedes-Benz parking in the unfinished garage, begging the whole world, telling everyone that is watching him, send the money there, send the money there, send the money there, send the money here, send money here. In Michael Jackson voice, yay, may his soul rest in peace. I can't. What is that? And then you say, oh, you people, you don't know, Maro is doing this for the community. Who is doing all these things for the community?